Well, joining multimedia I knew it was going to be a good idea because I'm interested in cinematography. So joining the class, we knew we were going to take on the Ranger News, and then being behind the camera and being in front of the camera was both things that I was interested in.
So being someone who's interested in cinematography, was it like a big mental adjustment to also have to go in front of the camera too?
Yeah, it was. It was weird because I'm not usually in front of the camera in my videos.
So what is something you learned from doing this class that you hadn't already picked up in your own time learning about cinematography?
I definitely got a little bit more awareness of like the equipment and the lights and the microphone because those aren't usually things that I do. And also working with other people because usually everything I do is just myself.
So why is it important to learn to work with other people?
Because in most situations in life, you're not going to be on your own. You're going to have to work with people, and you're going to have to work in groups, and you're going to have to work on projects.
So as we've seen a couple times, not everything goes perfectly in TV news. How do you roll with the punches?
This class is actually pretty good at it. We just kind of keep going, and the people that we have in front of the camera usually just spitball it and keep going.
What is the most rewarding part about doing this for you?
I love seeing the morning news playing every single day. We have it on a monitor in the front of the school that runs on a constant loop. So I just like seeing the show put together, and everybody enjoys it. We get a lot of good feedback from it.
I was going to say, how does that make you feel? Because I know it's a good feeling when I see my ugly mug on TV. So how does it make you feel seeing that something you put out there is being enjoyed by people?
It's good. It's rewarding. We've had compliments from people higher up in our administrators, and everybody seems to like it. It gets people into the news.
Anything I didn't ask about that you'd like to add?
I don't think so.
Stella told me that this is actually the first semester that you guys have done this, right? So it's your first semester too?
Yes.
So why did you want to start doing it?
Well, originally I thought it was like help me with my senior project,
Mm-hmm.
and I learned that it was the morning announcements, which is way cooler. Yeah, and I love being behind the camera and wearing these fancy suits.
Yeah, the suits are nice part of the job. So what about the morning announcements is cool?
Well, as I said, wearing the fancy suits, being able to be yourself on the news, being on YouTube.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. One thing that I'm seeing is that this group of students seems to have a lot of fun. Can you talk to me about why it's fun working with your fellow students on this?
Well, the innocence of children is that's the key. Like people like to have fun. People like to just be energetic, give personality to the news.
Yeah.
And it's fun to get to know people that you wouldn't have known otherwise.
Yeah. So I have learned a ton of things in working with news. I've learned how to talk to people I haven't met before. I've learned how to work a camera a little bit better. So what are some things that you've learned in your time doing this?
I've learned show must go on. I've been in the musical, so I knew that anyway. But I'm it really solidated here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you make a mistake, you have to keep going. You have to, if it's live, that is. But you have to make sure you make it count.
Cool. What kind of musicals do you like to do?
Well, I was in Annie that past year in this high school, and I like anything with a lot of songs and energy.
Naturally. I'm actually a musician myself, so I've played my fair share of musicals. So you meant you like being in front of the camera and being behind the camera. We kind of talked about what it's like being in front of the camera. What do you like to do behind the camera?
I've honestly never been behind the camera.
Mm-hmm.
I usually am on the set, talking.
Yeah. So is there anything you would want to learn behind the camera, or are you just in front of the camera?
Well, I'm doing a senior project this year about stop motion animation.
Mm-hmm.
I just got a camera, so it would be cool to learn how to do that. I'm taking a class about it.
Sweet. Anything I didn't ask about that you'd like to tell me, Andrew?
I'd like to thank Mr. Canali for everything, and he did a great job to explain everything to us and teach us this.
Good stuff. Thanks, man. Okay, cool. What made you guys want to start doing the morning announcements?
I just knew that my friends were taking it, like Stella, Paige, Mike, Jason, and I knew Mr. Canali. We had him in 10th grade. He's a good teacher, had a lot of fun with him. Yeah. And we knew that the morning announcements was something, because we did it last year, but it wasn't as set up as this.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just interested me to joke around on the morning announcements and not joke around, but have a good time with people that I enjoy being around. So.
Cool. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. We had Mr. Canali in 10th grade, and it was a real fun time. He was a great teacher, and I knew that the morning announcements was something that I'd want to do.
So what kind of activities are you guys involved in school or outside of school that aren't morning announcement related?
I do basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I as well play basketball. I mean, we both work at Wegmans.
Hey man, it's a great
Work at
place.
Wegmans.
I was gonna say it's a great place.
Great company.
Yeah.
Stugo. We're both in Stugo as well.
Student government.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks. Okay,
Yeah,
I was
student
going to say,
government,
I don't think I knew Stu go.
That's my fault.
Yeah, it's
No,
student
no,
government.
don't sweat it. See, it's about learning on the job.
There
so
you go.
so you mean playing sports? What's something that is different about doing this compared to like being on like a basketball team? Like, talk to me about the things that are similar and different between the other stuff you guys do and this.
I think for sports, I think there's more pressure
Mm-hmm.
to do good than this because I know that in the long run, like we could always like re-record this or we can just change how we do something. But in sports, it's a little different, a little more pressure on the line.
A little bit.
Yeah, and just with sports, like it's pretty much like an everyday thing. You practice it so much, and this just feels like it comes more natural.
Yeah.
But I mean, because it's just really just talking to the camera. Like it's nothing else. People like always think it's so much more, but it's really just it's pretty easy.
So that means you guys are both 18, right?
Yeah, I'm turning 18.
turning
I'm
18.
17 still.
Okay. Well, because it's really interesting because even like I'm 26, so even the whole culture about people learning how to talk to a camera is
Yeah.
really different.
Yeah.
What are some things that you guys have learned doing this that you might not have expected, or just anything you guys learned from doing this?
I think just basically talking in front of a camera, I never really thought I would ever because I never thought about being like a newscast person or anything, broadcaster. But doing this, it really opened my eyes to something I might be interested in later in the future.
Cool.
Yeah. Just what Mike said. Honestly, like I never thought like last year we did it one time and it was just all jokes, but actually we took it serious this year and it just opened my eyes and this is actually something very important, like to Mr. Canale and you obviously. So it's just cool to see it in firsthand.
Yeah, it's amazing what happens when you take things seriously,
Right.
right? It's
Right.
crazy.
Honestly.
Yeah. I know.
Okay.
Happens
Anything
very
that I
often.
didn't ask either of you guys that you want to tell me?
I just want to thank Mr. Canale. He did a good job, like Andrew said. And I want to thank my classmates for laughing at me. And it was a good class, good
Yeah.
first semester. Yeah.
Cool. Can I get your guys' signature sign off, whatever it was? That was funny.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, to interviews.
Interviews. Ah.
What made you guys What made you want to do the morning news?
Well, I like doing videos.
Mm-hmm.
I like designing things, making it look nice,
Mm-hmm.
which is why I mainly tasked myself with the background and stuff. I did edit some of the morning news. But that's pretty much it.
So you said, you were interested in this before, but what's something that you've learned, maybe just not just in terms of video editing, but like workflow that you didn't know before?
Well, how quick things go in terms of getting this stuff out. As you said, I think you said the TV world goes like it's faster than a day or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it goes by pretty fast.
Yes.
So, what's the most fun part about doing this for you?
The backgrounds, because you can do whatever you want. You can literally have SpongeBob going back there. You like Krabby Patties, don't you?
I was gonna say, don't make me do my Patrick impression. Yeah. I got one of those too, and you're not gonna get it out of me. All right, cool, man. Anything I didn't ask you that you want to tell me?
No.
Cool, John, you're up.
All right.
Okay. So, what made you want to start doing the morning announcements?
I don't know. I just saw his class. It looked like a cool opportunity, and just thought I'd give it a try. And I wanted to improve or learn a lot about editing. And even though like WeVideo, the thing we use is pretty basic, I learned a lot.
So, had you had any experience with editing video before this?
Not really, no.
So, what was like the most challenging thing to learn when you were starting to do it?
Just like at first when we got all the clips, like it was kind of hard to pick which ones because they didn't like delete the ones that were like that we weren't going to use. So just like cutting all the clips and putting them all together and stuff.
So tell me about this group of people, because this is a really fun class. This is
Yeah.
a fun environment. Talk to me about working with this group of people.
I don't know. Everyone's very unique. We bring a lot of character to this class. All the reporters are just really good and bring a lot of personality.
Cool. Anything I didn't ask about? Did you like that?
Nope, that's about it.
Cool. You're up, my friend. And keep passing on down. Okay. So, what made you want to start taking the morning announcement?
So
Morning announcement class.
So my friend Jeremy, who also does the weather, we did it together last year. It was a lot less professional than this year, but that's how I got into it, and I really enjoyed it last year. So when I heard that we were making a class for it, I was really down to do it.
So what's different about it this year that makes it more professional compared to last year?
Well, now we have a teleprompter. We have a better setup. Like the backgrounds are a lot better. Like last time we just used like the same generic background every time. Now we're switching them basically on the month.
So how are you? Are you one of the editors here?
Yeah, I am.
So what do you enjoy about editing the show?
Well, it's not like too hard, but it's very interesting to like go back and see all the bloopers and stuff.
That's actually an interesting thing. So I asked a couple people this. Not everything in TV news goes perfectly. Sometimes you say Monroe is Monroe. How do you roll with the punches and just keep going?
Well, sometimes I'll keep going, and then sometimes they'll all start laughing and just stop the video.
Well, thankfully it's not. Right?
Yeah.
Anything I didn't ask about that you want to tell me?
Just that this class is really fun. I think it's a really interesting class, and I think more people should take it.
I have something I wanted to say. I forgot. I need the mic.
Maybe, in theory. One second. Go.
All right, I got that mic. I mainly wanted to do editing because at first it was a huge challenge for me.
Excuse me, do you have Max LaRosa in class?
Yes, we do.
Max.
Could you please have him report to the counseling office at the end of the block?
Yes, I can.
I honestly,
Thank you.
Thank you.
I feel like she did that on purpose. Anyway.
It did have that feel.
The way she did it. It was a challenge for me to get up here and actually start, talking and reading the prompter because it's not like, talking and being on camera is difficult. It's because of this. Originally, the words looked so faint that I couldn't even make out. It just looked simple lines.
Right.
So that's part of the reason why I wanted to get into editing because at least the screen is closer. I can actually, I can work on things behind the scenes, and I'm still contributing to the group. And it was just really nice.